Oh my God! That is totally different. That's a 1-inch sensor on a smartphone. That is a game-changing moment taking place right now. Look at the size of that. Some of you may recall this phone over here. It made waves in the tech community for being one of the most expensive, most premium smartphones ever launched. I think it was like $2,500, and it was kind of targeted at filmmaker types, those that have Alpha series cameras like the A1 that I'm talking into right now, or the A1 that I'm talking into right now. These are great cameras. Sony knows how to do cameras. In fact, they make many sensors for all of your favorite brands, and they make their own phones. What the Pro model did was it added some durability, some camera-esque stylings and coatings. Most importantly, this HDMI port on the bottom. And this let you use this as a sort of professional field monitor for one of these professional cameras. And then there's some other cool features about it, like the camera app and the approach to shooting video on here, which they borrow from their professional camera department. Anyway, I end up finding this package today. My understanding is that inside of this box is a smartphone with a 1-inch camera sensor. I don't know, we're gonna discover it as we go. I have like no notes, nothing, just look, not for sale. Mysterious package. Let's find out what this is all about. I presume it's going to be a premium price tag if it actually has a 1-inch sensor. We've seen point-and-shoot cameras from Sony with 1-inch sensors. They've been tremendous in the past. In a smartphone, how do you fit it all in? Let's find out. Okay, 12 plus 12 plus 12 megapixels. So we obviously have a triple camera setup. 8 megapixel selfie camera in the front. 16.5 centimeter, you don't hear it referenced in such a way very often, 6.5 inch display, 4K HDR OLED. That's the other thing that I should have mentioned previously. Who's got a 4K display? We're talking major PPI here, so 4K display inside of 6.5 inches. 4,500 milliamp hour battery, and of course a Snapdragon 888 chip because it is flagship oriented. IP6568, that's where the Pro designation comes in. Xperia Pro I. I stands for imaging. Oh my God! That is totally different. That's a 1-inch sensor on a smartphone. That is a game-changing moment taking place right now. Look at the size of that. It is actually reminiscent of some of those other 1-inch cameras that Sony has put out in the past that I've been a fan of. I've owned many of them. What this is going to give you, typically bigger sensor, gives you better low light performance. You can have with the bokeh effect where you have a shallow depth of field. Who knows how this is going to work, but what a crazy looking camera layout. 1, 2, 3, and I guess you have a time of flight sensor in there too. The flash had to go up top. You see the Zeiss branding. They've been partnered with Zeiss in the past for the coatings on the lenses. Dedicated headphone jack up here on top. You have a lanyard spot because this is, after all, a camera. You know what? It's all metal. It doesn't have this magnesium finish from the original Pro. It's more slender and compact. Interesting, all right? This is my first exposure. I have no brief. There's no documentation to look at. I'm looking at this right now where there are no results other than some kind of teaser on the internet. All right, so on the bottom here, there's a USB Type-C port. We have our fingerprint unlock, which is on the side of the device, which is unusual. And we have our volume rocker above that. There's also a textured dedicated shutter button so that you can get real professional, have a dedicated spot for that and not have to be tapping away on the display. Then there's another button, maybe that is a sort of customizable button just above the shutter button, but it's recessed, so you're not going to accidentally press it instead of the shutter. On this side over here is the SIM tray, which just like in the past is removable without a tool. And it's not just a SIM tray, it also has an SD card slot in it, which is great for a device like this targeted at filmmakers and photo takers. You can just pop the SD out without any type of special tool. It really has a professional feel to it if you're familiar with Sony cameras. Also in the package, we do have a power brick. It looks like a 30-watt power brick. Yeah, oh, right there, USB PD 30W. There's your Type-C cable. So this gives you an idea of just how tall this display is. In your hand, it feels like a 6-inch smartphone maybe, but because it gets up tall, you can see I can grip down below and you still have tons of framing up top. The other key here is Sony's specific applications like Photo Pro, Camera Pro, Video Pro, Imaging Edge Mobile, and external monitor. So it does still have some form of external monitor. By connecting an external camera such as a Sony Alpha, external monitor app can help you in the following situations to take advantage of this display. So they're going to be achieving that with just a Type-C cable. So that is a benefit. Look at this. Use high refresh rate up to 120 hertz. So we are talking about 120 hertz 4K OLED in a phone. Now I'm starting to realize this is going to be a price tag here that we're gonna have to become comfortable with. I'm gonna turn it on. Now we are butter. We are butter now. 120 hertz, 4K OLED, let's go. As far as the interface is concerned, very stock Android type of experience inside of your notification tray over here, your quick settings, and obviously if we go into the typical settings, it's the same thing. I noticed though, I can pull from over here, double tap that bar, and I can have something called side sense, so I can have some quick apps over there if I, frequently accessed things. The key factor here is when you jump into, say, Cinema Pro, for example, and this is where they're pulling, at least in this case, from Cine Alta, which happens to be their very high-end cinema cameras. You can get all kinds of wild looks in here. HLG, HDR, codec H.265, you can see your battery, memory consumption, microphone left and right. Venice CS is the look, 4K. Of course, we can select the project frame rate, whatever is suitable for our project. It's really like a professional style of input. If you want to get really serious about your smartphone videos, ISO, it's like all types of manual controls. And I'm going to record a clip right now. So this is a very simple clip. The microphone is on the opposite side. We have your shutter information, film world type of stuff. So look at this. A focus ring that we can access. It's actually rather smooth. Look at this. I bring the couch into focus. Now, if I brought my hand into frame over here and I needed to focus on it, I just go down to near. Perfect. And then far. Complete manual control. See that the control interface is a little different, and you have zoom on here now, which is featured prominently. It really works like a motorized zoom lens. That's pretty cool. But I know there's manual features inside of smartphones, but Sony just has so much experience in cameras at the cinema level, at the broadcast level, that they can they know how to do an interface around manual features that's going to be comfortable to hold. You have a regular camera app too. This is for still photos, once again, back on the professional side of things. And with the dedicated shutter button and autofocus, which is so reminiscent of the Pro cameras. Eye autofocus, it grabbed his eye on that. Oh my goodness, we're talking now. Now we're talking. That is such a satisfying device to take photos on. Sony has such smart software when it comes to eye autofocus. It's locked. Look, it stays locked to his eye. Right there. See the little green box? Bang. 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 Once again, in the photo area, it's all types of features as well. You have a full menu system, just like you would have on one of their Pro cameras. You have multiple lenses to choose from. Of course, here's our ultra wide as well. 0.7 versus 1x. So the front camera, 8 megapixels. Let's give that a shot. Backlight portrait. It knows it's sensing the backlight. Or in this case, the ceiling light. Ooh. Plenty of detail in this area as well. It's so crazy. We have a 1-inch sensor on a smartphone. I don't think it's really sunk in yet. How is there enough space? I'm trying to imagine how they've packed it all in there. Okay, we just noticed something crazy. When you switch the aperture, there's an actual adjustment, a mechanical aperture inside of the 1-inch camera. So if I click it here, this is f4. That's f2, and you see it open up and let more light in. An actual real aperture functionality on a smartphone on top of a 1-inch sensor. I'm gonna do it one more time. F4, F2. Oh, this button here is a shortcut button. So let's say there's some event taking place, you need to quickly record something, just hit this button, boom, you're in, and you're recording. Boom, you're in, and you're recording. 2 buttons, I don't even need to look at my phone.
Figure out. Did you see the cleaning cloth?
Oh, I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
The $40 kit.
Bring up the cleaning cloth, Will, and show people what's
You know what?
going
So
on in the world in 2021.
it's pretty clear audio.
So, but it is, it's like everything. It's not.
And it is firing out of multiple places. All right, now, at the point that we're filming this, I have no idea what they're gonna charge for this. Hot update, news alert, I just got a brief. I got a literal 1 page for this thing like moments ago. It's gonna cost $17.99. So it's not as much as the previous Pro, which is good, but it is still a very premium price tag. It's for a specific type of user. They're gonna have a bunch of vlogging accessories for it. So it is for content creators who are gonna make a lot of content, presumably, and be able to justify the extra cost over a typical smartphone. It shoots 4K 120 as well. Just recently started shooting 4K 120 on actual cameras, and now we're doing it on smartphones. 4K 120 frames on your smartphone.
So that's like an RX 100 Mark whatever inside of a phone?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
1-inch sensor inside of a smartphone. A 1-inch sensor in a smartphone is not something I've seen before, experienced before from a company that really knows how to do it and has truly put together some of the best 1-inch sensors that have existed on cameras at all, like to begin with. So what I like here is the fact that we have options for smartphones that are really atypical, that are unique to the space. Like this really has the filmmaker in mind, the dedicated buttons, those variety of apps that give you quick access to features that as a filmmaker, photographer, you would know and want. The ability to use it as an external monitor because of having this Type-C connection that's compatible with the alpha cameras. And then also just top-end specs in general. Snapdragon 888, you got your IP ratings in here. You got a lot of RAM to work with. You have a 4K display, which as a monitor makes a difference. When you go and you crop in and you're really looking for detail, did I get that shot? Did I get focus? You got Sony's crazy software running in the background, maintaining things like eye autofocus, which they've perfected because of the Pro cameras, which are dominating in their segment. All of a sudden, you can understand why you have a compelling package for the right customer. Is it gonna be for everyone? No, but that's kind of what's good about it, is that they've been able to hyper-focus on a very specific customer. For that customer, there's gonna be an appreciation for this set of features, especially this 1-inch sensor. That's wild. Today's episode has been sponsored by Micro Center. This is where you're gonna find all the solutions, all your technology needs are going to be met at Micro Center. 25 locations across the United States. You can either order online or go into the store. And actually, there's a promo they have right now that's going to make you want to go visit one of the stores in one of those 25 locations. So if you have one near you, you're going to want to pay attention right now. Micro Center is one of the best places to shop for all your technology needs. It is tech heaven, whether it's desktops, laptops, computer components, monitors, TVs, networking equipment, you name it, they've got it. Best prices and best selection on computer hardware and everything else, technology at any of Micro Center's 25 locations across the United States. They've also got a PC builder so that you can go in there and spec out your perfect custom PC, whatever type of rig you're looking for, whatever GPU you're looking for, and the builder will make sure that the components that you've selected are all going to work together properly. You can find stock at your nearest Micro Center location, add it to your cart, and arrange same-day in-store pickup. And for a fee, you can check the box marked Same Day Pro Assembly to have the Micro Center expert technicians assemble your PC for you. If you want help deciding what parts to put in your new custom gaming PC, join the new online Micro Center community. It's a great place to discuss tech with other enthusiasts. All right, so here's the promo. Listen up. New customers will get a free 128GB flash drive and a 128GB micro SD card at Micro Center. This is a new customer exclusive. There's no purchase necessary, just free 128 SD card and a 128 USB drive. It's a limited time offer and it's valid in store only. Of course, this is one per customer. I'll have all the relevant details and links down in the description of this video, so make sure to take advantage, and thank you to Micro Center for sponsoring this show.